Chase, are you hungry? We should get a pizza. Maybe we should eat B-Man for breakfast. I've been getting this tutorial request forever. Now that there's a brand new Harley Quinn, I think it's time we do it. And if you didn't already know, this tutorial is here to follow the release of a fan art collab that my boyfriend Chase and I created. You might have seen it floating around the internet if you've been keeping up to date with Suicide Squad news. If you want to know the full story on that, stay tuned after the tutorial portion of this video. Hey, it's me, Harley Quinn! This is my first day doing a Harley Quinn impression, so if it's not so good, I cannot help it. I'm still working on it. I'm gonna show you how you can look like me. I look like this. When I'm being sexy. I'm a real badass. Does she laugh like that? I'm not sure. Step 1, make yourself really pale. I'm using a straight up white foundation made by Illamasqua to make me even more pale than I already am. Disclaimer, at the time of me filming this tutorial, only 2 pictures, these 2, had been released, so everything I'm doing makeup-wise is based off of what I can see from those 2, but I'll get more into that later. I'm also extending that down my neck because the new Harley Quinn is overall pale, not just in the face like many of the older versions. For the brows, I'm using a brown brow mascara to simulate hair in the front. And her eyebrows are pretty dark for her hair, but that's okay because I'm not even a real blonde. And then using a brow gel, I'm filling them in, mimicking a shape similar to hers in the picture, but I'm avoiding the bottom of the front of the brows because hers don't look very filled in there. For the eyeshadow on the left eye, I'm using a blue color similar to the hair to draw this sort of sideways V shape right above the outer lash line and in the outer corner of the crease. Repeat this on the right eye using a reddish pink shadow. Then using a fluffy brush, I'm going to start blending that all out. Hers appears to be a little messy, so you don't need to do this perfectly. But on that note, since filming this tutorial, I've seen other pictures of the new Harley which shows her eyeshadow might be even messier than I'm doing it here. It's a little hard to tell with what's been released so far because there haven't really been any close-ups of her, so for now you can do this part at your discretion. Then I'm taking a light brown shadow to sweep over the lid and blend lightly into the color, just to make the eye a little bit darker. Then I was losing a lot of daylight outside, making my room all dark, so I turned on the all-powerful ring light. Don't mind me. Using my finger, I'm dipping it into the red shadow and then sweeping it down the side of my face, coming off of my eye as pictured in the official photos. Do the same for blue. Don't be afraid to make it messy because that is, after all, the point. And don't make it too opaque because then we're going to take a small brush and draw 2 small messy stripes within both of those colors with the same color. Again, just going off of the official pictures that were first released. Pat on the stripes a little bit so that they don't look too neat. Then I decided that the lid needed more color, so I went back and blended some more into the corner and the crease. And of course, eyeliner. Do a medium-sized wing and line the whole perimeter of the eye. Add mascara to the upper and lower lashes. For the lips, I first lined my very sad, dry, cracked lips with a brown liner, and then filled it in with a red lipstick. Then I went back over the perimeter with more brown liner and inside that a tiny bit just to darken the overall look. These lashes are so soft and delicate, just like my pudding. Ow! I decided to add really light lashes, mostly just because I'm a lash addict, but she might not have any on in the picture. Again, it's hard to tell. In between me filming and editing this, pictures have come out showing a black heart on her right cheek, so I would add that in as well. But that is the gist of what I think the new Harley Quinn makeup looks like. If you want to get real fancy, you can use Skin Illustrator to draw fake tattoos on your legs and I'll call it her lower abdomen, but it's a little unclear what a lot of them say still. Chase thinks the tattoo on her lower abdomen says, "Lucky you." Ain't that just scandalous? So the second we saw the release of the new Harley Quinn, I was out at the mall trying to find costume pieces, and that turned out to be quite troublesome. I found out that synthetic wigs do not take real hair dye. I bought a white jacket that looked kind of like the jacket she was wearing in the very first picture release, and found out that it's actually a half blue, half red jacket. So I did not dye it correctly because I hadn't seen the other side of her body yet. I got a white shirt that had this like panel at the top, and I was gonna dye it red like she has it in the picture. And I dyed it red, and then when I hand washed it out, I could not prevent the dye from bleeding everywhere, and now the whole shirt is pink. I didn't even take the tag off yet. Won't be returning that. So this has been fun, but I tried. I was just too excited to be Harley Quinn as soon as the new one was released. So keep in mind that this is a tutorial based on 2 pictures that have been released at the point of me filming this. And this might not actually be how Harley Quinn ends up looking in the movie, or you might find out other details later. This is kind of just a guesstimate. If you're watching this in 2016 and it's kind of off, don't yell at me. Well, bash your brains in, okay? Okay, so, the picture. I'm guessing a lot of you have already seen this picture, but if you haven't, it's the new Joker played by Jared Leto, which was released by Suicide Squad director David Ayer a few weeks ago. His tattoos have been extremely controversial and reportedly just a joke, so Chase and I had the idea to take the joke one step further by answering the question, do you want to know how I got these tattoos? The idea was to do a comical fan art that would show the flip side of the picture, that explained that he's actually screaming in agony because Harley Quinn is behind him and tattooing a tramp stamp that lovingly says, puddin'. We wanted to do this before someone else could, so we shot this the night the new Harley Quinn had been released. So how accurate we could get the costume was dependent on time, the massive amount of wardrobe complications we had that night, and the one picture that we had to go off of at that point. Then Chase did what he does best as a visual effects artist and matched my friend Caleb and I into the world of the original Joker photo shoot, adding costume details as more pictures of Harley in her costume were getting released. His work is really what sold this to the point that it might have been confused for the same photo shoot. We then released it in a way that hopefully would have made Harley and the Joker laugh. We had a ton of fun making this and creating a small buzz for a day to pay a little viral tribute to the new Suicide Squad, which we are both super excited to see, tattoos or not.